Is 8:02 on a Wednesday morning. It is October the 15th. Rise and shine, rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Happy to report it's a beautiful start here in Central Florida. We are, of course, tracking the tropics, though. So let's get right outside, see what's doing. There's Tropical Storm Lorenzo. Maximum sustained winds are at 40. This thing is less than healthy. It's not going to be doing much. I don't anticipate it doing much over the next couple of days' time. As a matter of fact, I anticipate it completely fading out. Here's a look at the forecast from the National Hurricane Center. And without fail, there you go, down to tropical storm status and perhaps even weaker. So, love that for us. Anyway, that's not the area that I'm really watching. We start to turn our attention to more along the lines of the Caribbean. Looking ahead to, say, next week, that's where we could be getting into some tropical troubles, right? That's going to be an area. We were talking about this yesterday on Coffee Talk, and of course, today, kind of the same idea. So let's be sure to get right to it, just kind of see what's doing. First off, let's go right to the computer models. I'm going to dial this up, and this is just raw GFS data, okay? Give me a second to turn this around, hit that button, and hit that button. Okay. All right, very good. So this is the raw GFS, and I want you to look bottom right corner of your screen. Starting to see something developing south of like the Dominican Republic and Haiti there. This is the time frame of Wednesday, the 22nd of October. So next Wednesday, okay? Um, Something trying to get going. I'll bring it full screen for you. Watch through time, intensifying, getting very near Cuba, and then recurving and staying away from us. Okay. Now remember, that's one run of one model. You can't take that to the bank. You just have to understand that that's a potential pathway forward, right? Um, the models have been, and if you've watched Coffee Talk for a while, you know the models have been consistent that there should be something here trying to get going. So to that point, we may have to watch something. I guess next week is the bottom line there. Let's switch over. Let's look at the European model here and just kind of get an idea. Okay, switch over to the European model, and this is Tuesday, October 21st. That's as far out as that run goes, but let's go further. Watch south of Cuba here. Yeah, we see something getting going and then also recurving and staying out to sea. I'm not as focused necessarily on the pathways as I am just the idea that something may be trying to develop, right? Because we know that if it develops, it's going to be in the vicinity. Models this far out are not going to give you exact routes. We're not going to have the exact place that things get going and where they move. But we look for trends, and it's those trends that at least give us the idea of what's to come, right? So to that point, I want to make sure that we are dialed into that, okay? Consistency breeds confidence. Chris, I know you were asking for it. I know. You were waiting for it. So there you go. Consistency breeds confidence. But yeah, not a huge concern for us at the moment, but it is a trend, and trends are your friends, right? So let's go a step further then, and let's look at the ensembles. Now, whenever we're tracking the tropics, especially when it comes to weak stuff like this, we start to look for ensemble guidance. And basically, this is the GFS, for example. What we're looking for here is all a bunch of areas of low pressure. Think of it as 30 different versions of the GFS. So, for example, this is going to be Wednesday of next week, showing the ensembles developing stuff in the Caribbean or showing stuff around the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Again, at this moment, there's not consistency in where something develops, but I want you to notice that there is consistency showing development, right? So that's the takeaway. I think something's probably going to get going. After that, notice the strong pull for an Atlantic recurvature, right? Most of these ensembles are wanting to bring it, loop it away, and loop it out to sea. Um, that's fine. I wouldn't mind that at all, but it's not set in stone, right? And that's one of the reasons why ensembles are good it gives us the chance to really look at the meat and potatoes on these computer models. And I know that you guys have been commenting, and I apologize. I'll get to the comments in a little bit. Right now, I'm just kind of in analysis mode. So ensembles on the GFS are promising. Let's switch over and let's look at the European model. And I have to go to the zero Z because that's the only one that'll go out far enough, right? But let's just go through time, seeing ensemble members with development here. East of us, some into the Gulf. The Euro seems to have a bit more of a westerly bias, at least when it comes to this piece of energy. So it's developing it. Where it goes, we're still not quite sure. So, not overtly concerned, but definitely need to watch this part of the pattern. Let's go back and let's look at the Euro AI model. 6Z is currently running, so we'll have to go to the 0Z. But we see, I mean, there's stuff around. So all of the models are showing something there. We just don't have anything set in stone yet. Okay, I asked for nice weather for the air show. Not this, Matt says. Yeah, I know. You know I don't have I don't have control. I know you know that. But anyway, so that's why this area has been highlighted in the Caribbean for an area of interest, particularly next week. Okay, European Western bias. Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So, when you look at the models just side by side, I'm going to use the TV graphical version of this just to illustrate it, right? But when you look at them side by side, it's a wave that's rolling off the coast of Africa right now, just kind of rides low out near the ABC Islands, and then the GFS really wants to intensify it pretty quickly, whereas the European is definitely a little weaker and a little slower on that. So it's something we're going to have to monitor and just kind of follow through. But for now, it's not a threat to us, and I think it's important to remember that, okay? All right. Questions about that area out in the tropics before we dive into anything else? Questions about this area of interest? The Hurricane Center hasn't set it up as an area of interest just yet, at least in the next 7 days' time. But next week, I would say that probably tomorrow, maybe even today, they're going to have to circle this as an area to watch for development. It just makes sense. We're getting into that week time frame. Bruce says weak goes west. Well, and if you notice, the European was weaker than the American GFS, which is why the GFS wants to recurve sooner and the European wants to go a bit further west. So that totally makes sense. Yep, it does. Is it near the Bay of? Yes, Campeche. Let's all drink because that's the drinking game. Kevin is asking, are the Gulf waters cooling? Yeah, so I mean, remember, oceanic temperatures take a while to adjust. Here, I'll set that up for you, okay? Water temperatures. The warmest temps we're finding, period, are out in the Caribbean. Still 87 there. The Gulf is still 84. 80 is the magic number. Once you get below 80, you can't really develop or sustain a tropical system. But we are very clearly well into the 80s here from the Caribbean into the Gulf, into the Florida Straits, into the Gulf Stream off of Florida's east coast. So we can absolutely sustain life, so to speak. Yes, we can absolutely have a tropical system form and move in this area. Yes. What are the changes? How do you mean, what are the changes? Rephrase so that I can answer. Um, Martiz is asking about the Atlantic. We showed Lorenzo, not a threat. The only thing that we're watching in the Atlantic right now is this wave that eventually moves into the Caribbean. If we take a look at the satellite image, let's see, that's Lorenzo. Give me a second to find the wide shot. There we are. Look in the bottom right corner of your screen there. I mean, that's this wave working off the coast of Africa. So Lorenzo will not develop, will not be trouble, but this wave coming off the coast of Africa, that is something that we're absolutely watching. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of where we're at, my friends. All right. Um, it's nothing for now, but it's definitely going to try to become something looking ahead. But there it is rolling off the coast of Africa right now. What are the chances? Sorry. So it's too far out for the Hurricane Center to be issuing chances, but the Climate Prediction Center puts out their own tropical output, and they're saying it has a 40% likelihood of seeing tropical development in week two, right there. By the way, after this Caribbean area, we're looking good just after Halloween. So like everybody can start throwing Christmas everywhere because that's what you do, right? Stephanie's asking, when would this be a Central Florida issue, date-wise? Sorry, just popped on to watch. So we're not at all dialed into the idea that this would be a Central Florida issue. But if we look at the ensemble models, that's Monday, October 27th. That's Tuesday, October 28th. So there's Wednesday, October 29th. So it would be around the 28th, 29th that it's anywhere from the Gulf to the offshore East Coast waters. So somewhere in the vicinity. So around or just before Halloween would be the time frame if something's around. Okay? That's where we're at. Diane says, let there be Thanksgiving first. Champion for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So yeah. All right. Now, the next name on the list, just so that we're on the same page here. Where's that graphic? Here it is. The next name on the list would be Melissa. Hopefully it's sweet Melissa, not saucy Melissa. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're looking at. Meanwhile, back here at home, there are a few showers in our Central Florida forecast for today, a 10% coverage of rain. Tomorrow, a 10% coverage of rain. Then Friday, a weak front slides through, kind of clears us back out, cools us down just a smidge. And then Saturday's looking gorgeous. Sunday showers, Monday showers, maybe even a thunder shower as another front moves through. And basically, it's just reiterating this really nice air. We're not talking about a big chill or anything like that, but it's just keeping us in a very, very, very comfortable register. So that's kind of what we're watching right now, my friends. And of course, this is the part where I ask you all to chime in. Let me know what you want to know about, what you all want to talk about. I don't like the new way YouTube is doing this. What's YouTube doing? I'm just feeding the video, so I don't know what YouTube's doing. I apologize. Terry says, well, Eric did say to keep an eye on the Gulf area toward the end of October. Yes. I mean, hopefully this doesn't do that, but yeah. So these are the ones you talked about before the end of the month, the beginning. Yes, Guy, that's correct. Yep. Not fair. Doctor's appointment coming up in the haunt of hurricane ruins my but don't you worry. Listen, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Jeannie Rowan says if you're new to Florida, first hurricane season, note this is not the norm. Very happy about it still. Oh, just how quiet it's been? Yeah. This has been lovely. It's not usually this quiet and I mean I'm not complaining, but I also just want to make sure that like yeah, like Jeannie Rowan, as you point out, like this is not exactly the norm. So anybody that's here needs to know that. Put a little storm track on this area of rain here. Do that there. Show element. All right. Just setting up my TV hit, so forgive me, my friends. Both Tuesdays and Fridays fronts showed up on the BSR at the key. Did they? See, I don't keep tabs on that stuff, so I appreciate you for keeping me honest there. Does this quiet predict next year is quiet in terms of long range? So from here on out, from about October 10th on out, is when we really follow the long range forecast. So at the moment, we don't know. We've got a few weeks that we still have to watch for that. Yeah. Galen, how are you? Good morning. All right, we're gonna do some TV here. Any new meteorologists? No new meteorologists to report. When are they hiring another meteorologist? You don't have to be in so early. Listen, you'll know when I know. All right, let's get ready for some TV here. Hopefully Melissa won't become a Karen. Please, please let's listen. I'll fill out a doctor's note. I'm not a doctor, okay? But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at the forecast. Next couple of days, we have a couple sprinkles in there today, tomorrow, 10% coverage of rain. Friday, Saturday, we go dry again because there's a weak little front that moves through. Then late Sunday into Monday, our rain chances start to rise for the same reason. Because while Saturday's looking gorgeous, there's another cold front marching our direction on Sunday. And just like we were talking about yesterday on Sunrise, it's all in the timing of this front. If it's early, we get rain on Sunday. If it's late, it's just Monday. And at the moment, it looks like it's a little early, meaning Sunday afternoon, evening, we may have some showers, particularly in our western areas to track. That said, Biketoberfest gets going over in Volusia County tomorrow. An isolated shower or so, otherwise looking great for tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, and really even Sunday looking fantastic. It's homecoming over at UCF on Saturday. West Virginia coming to town, and it's going to be a beautiful day. Nice breeze, but this is sunburn weather, okay? So make sure to use sunscreen or use the big brim hat. That's what I'm going to do. In terms of the forecast, just for planning purposes, everybody's working for the weekend after all. Saturday, the milder day with a high temperature of about 84. Sunday, it's 87. And really, it's late in the day that we watch for more rain. We'll probably also have a few additional clouds in the mix. For now, look how pretty downtown Orlando is. It is a clear sky over top of us, 68 degrees our current temperature, and our first warning live radar scanning the skies, finding areas of rain off the shoreline, working toward Volusia. Matter of fact, Daytona Beach, a light shower coming in, but there's a cluster of heavier stuff that's working right in around New Smyrna Beach. So I want to put a storm track on this just to let you know. If you live in South Daytona, 8:26, the rain arrives. Port Orange, rain arrives around 8:36, New Smyrna at 9 o'clock, and Glencoe by 9:07. Today, on again, off again showers. It's a 10% coverage of seeing them. And here's a look 1:32 o'clock on Futurecast. A few of them moving inland. Otherwise, resetting back over to the beaches for tonight. It's the eastern areas that have the best chance of seeing rainfall. Out to the tropics, we have weak tropical storm Lorenzo. Looks like it's falling apart in on itself. But by next week, we have to watch the Caribbean. It looks like we're going to see some tropical development there. Wave coming off of Africa now, crosses the Atlantic weak. Then, once it gets into the Caribbean, the American GFS model shows a hurricane developing by about next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The European model keeps it a bit weaker, more of an either a depression or a tropical storm. This is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Either way, models are agreeing that something should get going. Next name on the list, by the way, is Melissa. Back here at home, while we're watching the tropics from afar and with no concern, we're just keeping eyes on it. We're also keeping eyes on a few passing showers. 10% coverage of rain today, tomorrow, and then late Sunday into Monday, rain chances rise. All right, Megan, good morning. All right. What about my hair? I have a cowlick. It, I, I need to, yeah, I need to get that taken care of. Ugh, what is it that bad? I look and all I see is a bunch of comments about my hair. Is my hair that problematic? Guy says last time I wore a hat was when I went to military school. Oh, geez. I wear a big brim hat eh, I'm not going to say every chance I get, but just constantly. Is it that bad, you guys? Um, I wear a big hat every time I'm like outside for a while. So, all right, Rooster Tail. Cow, it's a cowlick. It is what it is. Marie's asking any major fronts for Florida and Southeast Georgia around the time of expected Melissa. Listen, first off, slow down. Melissa's a week plus out if develops. Um, we showed the patterns, but it's just too early to get going much more. Okay. Um, we're going to be watching the Caribbean, and that's the way you have to treat these things. You can't say, oh, it's going to go here, it's going to go there, because we just don't know those facts yet, right? Like does it develop? When does it develop? How quickly does it develop? Those are questions that would play into an eventual intensity of it, right? So that's kind of those are all things we have to follow. So no, I unfortunately I don't have the information. I don't have the information you're looking for, right? So it just is what it is. We watch the tropics, that's all. Ellie says, well, the front doesn't look bad. All right. It's a quail tail. Very good. Hey, Agoya, I'll be out there, I think, Friday because I'm here Saturday morning, so I can't do the Saturday morning thing, the Saturday morning practice. Oh, well. Carol, the potential blob could impact cruises in the Gulf from Tampa. We don't know. We don't know. The ensembles were also showing it recurving out east. So let's just say it's an area to watch, right? It's an area to watch and nothing more. Destiny says, anyways, back to the tropics. Right. Yeah. It's an area to watch in the Caribbean, and that's it. Nothing more than that, okay? Googling how the name of cowlick came because, yeah, let me know because I'm curious at this point. We just watched, Lois, that's right. And that's why we look at the ensembles, because the ensembles give us an idea of how confident or not confident a forecast is, right? And like the European, it's like something could develop in the Caribbean, don't know east or west, and then it could get shifted out to the east. It could go right into Florida, it could go into the Gulf. We don't know. We don't know. And the GFS ensembles are no better, right? So there's no consistency. Consistency breeds confidence, and we don't have that. Let's look at the Euro AI just while we're here. Well, if I hit the button, Euro AI messy. It's the best way to put it. Yeah, around is the best way to put it. So we have to watch it, and that's all we can do, right? So that's where we're at. All right, back to our local forecast, which is much less eventful, we'll say. Wish I could use. Okay, the term cow comes from the resemblance of the swirling patch of hair to the area that a cow licks on its. Oh, that's interesting. There you go. See, didn't know that. I'm curious what the CM. Oh, the Canadian ensembles, of course. Let me dial that up. All right, Canadian ensembles. All right, so energy in the Caribbean. It looks like the Canadian is more either recurve or work into the Gulf and then get picked up. It, it's just not set in stone, right? Like tracking the tropics this far out is problematic. Steve Dotson says, I love the no hype approach. Don't stress. That's it. Don't stress. Listen, things are always happening. In the weather world, things are always happening. And we'll have something to track all the time. Could be a cold front, but you've got to watch out. And it's just like the day and age we're in is crazy. You've got to watch out from the people that sit there and they're just like, the next threat to the United States is here. Hi, everybody. I'm bloody blah. No. Tropical trouble. I mean, that's what I said this morning. That's a thing, but there's always something to track. Tone is everything. Tone is everything. Firesign says the models have been seeing development in the Caribbean all season. And they've been hinting at it, but there's been a consistency here more than normal. So yeah. Let's see here. But can we see the BSR? Yes, you can. I just need to see where we're at in the run. This is going into today's show hits next, Megan? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna have to do it. I've got the Today Show hit, then I've got the A block hit for TV, and then we can look at the BSR. Yeah, so we've got a couple things to go. Do the hype voice, please. Well, I can't. I'm in the studio, so that's the problem. Is I've got to keep it a little quiet because they're doing news a couple of feet away from here, so I can't exactly go crazy. All right. Mr. Weatherman gave his forecast to mention hurricanes. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know who Mr. Weatherman is, but I is a bad thing, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Are you doing pregame too? I was talking, guy, I was talking to Dave Schreier yesterday. He made fun of me because he has to make special accommodations for me because I'm here Saturday morning. So anyway, all right, stand by. It's a nice anything day weather-wise. Yeah, good morning to you. This is a beautiful sunny sky from our Tower Cam network over in Tavares. Temperatures are in the 60s for most of us, 70s for some areas. A couple of areas of rain off the shoreline of Volusia County. That'll sneak on in. Otherwise, it's a 10% coverage of rain today, tomorrow, then rising rain chances Sunday into Monday. Keep it real, no hype. You know. You know. All right. One more hit for CW18, and then we can do the BSR. Ugh. Who's that guy? Who's what guy? Here comes the wacky DJ voice. Do I have a wacky DJ voice? Do I have a wacky DJ voice?
Nah.
Somebody's making fun of me for my TV voice. I don't think I have like a, maybe I project a little more?
Yeah, that's normal though.
I feel like that's wacky. Hey there, coming at ya. I don't think I have that. All right, 828. Let me get, stand by. I got to get the next TV hit loaded. Do that, that. You hush, Ernesto. Ah. Daytona Beach. All right, perfect. Let's see here. What's your honest report card grade on the hurricane of 2025? Well, Lawrence, I would say that the pieces of the pattern that we highlighted showed up. They just didn't develop tropically. So, you know, it is what it is. The floor director giving signals. Yeah. Curious how the storm that hit Alaska translated to here on the BSR. Yeah, we'll look at it. All right, give me a second. Downtown Orlando is where you're looking fine. The sun's shining, but in this spot, we're looking in the upper 60s right now. So it is great. Good morning to you on this Wednesday. Jason. And I'm Lindsay Sablon. This weekend temperatures all week. It's really good Sunday. Skip right over the first morning of the city. Good morning to the both of you guys. Yeah, look here to Daytona Beach. It may be stunningly sunny in Orlando, but look over to Daytona Beach because we've got the dark clouds and areas of rain coming on in. You can actually see the showers off there in the distance. To first warning live radar we go, quiet over top of the inland spots, but it's our coastal spots that are watching showers. And there's nothing severe, not even close, but it's these pesky areas of rain that we're watching coming in around South Daytona, Daytona Beach shores. There's a closer inspection. Right along the Dunlawton Bridge here, we'll watch some rains move in. Heavier batch of rain coming in from about the inlet down to New Smyrna Beach, and even more showers off the shoreline yet to come in. Temperatures out the door, low, mid, upper 60s, so it's comfortable. But through the day today, while the temperatures climb back to the 80s, we'll keep that mention of a few passing showers from time to time. So let's do this. Let's time it out using Futurecast and look out to the tropics, because while we have one tropical storm now, there looks to be another one trying to develop next week. We'll look at the data and get you updated in just a few minutes. Now at 8:31, let's check in on that morning commute. Let's get over to Megan. Good morning. Okay. Let's see here. Eric got photobomb. Oh, did I? Oh, the guy in the red shirt. Hold on. Everybody said you photobombed me. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm getting caught up on all your comments. Anyone watching them on TV? Can you see the? Oh, you're still making fun of my hair, you guys? Too much. Ugh, okay. So It's a hair voice critique for the yeah, right? You guys are like a consultant over here. You're making me all kinds of self-conscious. All right. So you wanted to see the BSR. Let me get that dialed up here. Hit that button, hit that button. See, the problem is when I'm changing sources and everything, it takes like 20 button clicks. We're gonna get there though. We're gonna get there. All right. BSR, hit that button. Okay. All right. So here's the BSR. So what are we looking at here? For those that are new, the BSR is a way to it's a teleconnection. So it lets us look at the weather, believe it or not, in Alaska, and it gives us an idea of what's going to come about 2.5 weeks afterward. So, for example, this is a really good example. This date that we're looking at, that's October 3rd, which October 3rd, that's about the 20th, 21st, 22nd, showing low pressure off of our east coast, which the models are showing. Front moving through, high pressure building in, front moving through, some low pressure around the west coast. See, this is where it gets confusing, right? So that is the 9th, which would translate to that's the 26th. Maybe some area of low pressure along Florida's west coast. Nothing huge, nothing significant. Okay. But then we end up with this area of low pressure, a pretty clear signal of something. That is the 11th, which would be one, two, around the 28th, 29th, 30th. To me, I'm interested to see how this plays out a couple of days before Halloween. Is that tropical around Louisiana, or is that a like severe weather kind of thing? That's what's a difficult part of this, right? So is this our little tropical thing, or is this our little tropical thing, right? Like this is where using a teleconnection, it gives you ideas. Like I was talking to one of our executive producers in the newsroom yesterday, and he's like, "Well, how accurate is it?" And I'm like, "It's not accurate. It's just a guess. It's kind of like shining a flashlight in the fog. It gives you a hint of things to look for, but that's it, right?" We pick on you because we like you. It's a compliment. Deanna, my love language is the exact same way. So, A, I appreciate you. B, I understand it. Yeah. It's not a wacky voice. It's just a little more animated. It's just love from, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm not feeling negative at all. We're good. We're good. Debbie says, just keep it away from here on Halloween. Otherwise, the wrath of Taylor. You envy my voice? Hair? Nah, that's funny. All right. So, anyway, that's interesting. Just before Halloween, some sort of a storm system along the Gulf Coast. Is it tropical in nature? I don't know, but it's something interesting. Then there's a front, and like a couple of decent fronts. Could that mean that we've got like a coolish Halloween? I would love it. I'm going to be a Blue Angel pilot. I've got the jumpsuit. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But I'm excited about it. Anyway, I'm excited about this weather if we can sneak some cold fronts in. Uh, then then there's this. This looks to me like a winters type pattern, but a nasty storm system along the northern Gulf Coast. What day is that? That's the 14th, which would translate to the 31st. So that would be Halloween, at or around Halloween along the northern Gulf Coast. And then a big old cold front, a big old, oh man, could we start November with a big old cold front? That's Halloween or just after. That's a significant cold front signal there. I love that. And that's as far as that goes. And then what we can do is we can go even a step further, plug the GFS in, and try and use the GFS to kind of give us an idea ahead. So, little piece of energy there. That's around November 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Interesting. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Could that be a little Gulf low, like a little something tropical? November 2nd, 3rd, 4th? It's possible. Somebody write that down. Big old cold front. Nasty. That looks like a severe weather setup there. Then that could be like a winterish setup eventually. This looks like a really active winter, to be honest with you all. Another front. These fronts. These fronts. What is this? That's another front there. That's November 9th, 10th, 11th. Gulf low. 11th, 12th, 13th. Gulf low. Southwest Florida Gulf low. And another cold front moving in. That's the 17th, 18th, 19th. So, I mean, it looks like a fairly active pattern. It looks like a fairly active pattern for us using the BSR, just kind of looking ahead. Terry says, my gosh, a strange hurricane season, fall and winter. Yeah, right? Yeah. Diane says, no tornado threat for anyone later on, please. Well, I'm definitely seeing some of these indicators of fall stormy patterns, fall even like severe weather type patterns. Hopefully nothing significant, but those patterns are definitely showing up as being active. So that's definitely stuff to watch. Yep, massive cold front's going to be like 50 degrees. Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's a big cold front signal. It could just be a regular cold front, but it's a big old signal, which I'm not going to complain about. Yeah. Shelly Kennedy on YouTube says these fronts in late October and early November look more like cold systems from low jet stream. Yum. Yeah. You can tell it's fall. All the northern plates going 20 under the posted speed limits. Well, I mean, people are snowbirding and I mean, it's fall. It's fall. Annie Bar says 50 burr. Look, I didn't say anything about 50. I didn't say anything about 50. And as a matter of fact, here's the GFS temperatures. Like, I, I don't see any. Now, that said, look how the end of October does show highs in the lower 80s. I wouldn't buy like what is that? That's October 27th. I wouldn't buy that 74 and don't ever the last day of the model like it's 67. Don't ever. It's just not gotten that far out. So ignore the 67 on the right. But that Thursday before Halloween like that could be nice. That could be nice. Mickey Smith on YouTube says, interesting to see an active winter pattern since we're entering La Nina. Typically, El Nino is more active. I agree. And I was even talking, I had a conversation about this with Manolfi the other day, because just like you said, this looks more like an El Nino fall winter pattern than a La Nina. Here we go. Kathy Joe says, so Eric, can energy of storms go year to year? Like November was Wilma. Could that energy recycle this far? Every year is a different pattern. It resets around October 10th. Yeah. The ghost woman says, but I want that 67. I know. I also want that 67. But the last day of the model, remember, it's only gotten to a certain point through its run. It hasn't gotten to the high yet. Do you ever read the Farmer's Almanac? I don't. So you'll have to tell me what it says. Mother Nature's a tease. Well, listen, this is just the way it goes. It's not that it's a tease necessarily. Highs in the low 60s here today. Well, yeah, elsewhere for sure. Mickey's asking, yes, you want future cast for today? Sure. Stand by. It's not going to be impressive. Like Futurecast for today shows a handful of showers, 11, 12 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock, showers into the metro, 3, 4 o'clock around, right? 5, 6 o'clock, it kind of fades. So there's not much to track here. Not really a bunch of stuff on our radar, which is fine by me. I'll take that all day long. You know? Let's see. Obviously, Eric needs to give a meteorological seminar retreat. A what? I'm just being grateful for the beautiful weather. It is beautiful outside. Huge fan here. Paul, good morning. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. GFS future temps. I look forward to the first dip in the 50s. Yeah, again, don't hold your breath, but yeah, yeah. When we get to January and February, everyone will be wanting these warm temps back. It's true. Fix my username. There you go. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, my friends? We were yentering it up quite a bit. Just got call out from schools in the lake referencing a threat. I don't know anything. I did get something from Seminole County, but let's see here. I don't see. Oh, okay. I just got something from Seminole County as well. Yes. Yep. Got it. Yep. We only need a month of chill. Yeah. All right. I think that's all we've got. Diane says, looking forward to fire pit evenings. Boy, that'll be fun. Yeah. All right. Dampen the hair in case you turn around on TV. I didn't really do it. All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for coffee talk. I will see you guys on TV through 10 o'clock, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. Lawrence is asking if the plane's airworthy yet. Still doing its annual. So no, not yet. I'll probably pop over there today, see what they're doing.